Well, as we continue to look back over Manx Radio's 50 years, I'm using the opportunity to use my contacts of people that I used to work with from the 80s and maybe even earlier, who knows. But today I'll say Sheena Mackay to the audience, but it's Sheena Kaighin by married name, and joining us from London. Sheena, welcome.
Hi, Paul. Nice to see you again.
Long time, I must admit.
Absolutely, too long, really.
You've been a bit of a globetrotter since you left Manx Radio.
Actually, it's 20 years just gone since we left the Isle of Man, and it's been a journey of moving around the world ever since. We went to Brunei for 5 years, then to Aberdeen for 5 years, 5 years down in London, and then just recently 5 years in Alaska, and now we're back in Surrey.
Was that the radio that took you away?
No, John's job. I've been following him around the globe ever since we left the Isle of Man.
Now, the reason I thought it'd be good to talk to you today is that I think you probably remember that back in 1982, I got hold of a new video camera at the time, and we took it into Manx Radio, and we had a bit of a laugh taking some shots around the newsroom, which bizarrely today look very old, don't they? I mean, technology has moved on a bit, has it not?
It certainly has. It's got smaller, that's for sure.
I think the teletext was the height of technology in the room at the time.
Well, I remember when we started, there was a telex machine in the room, a huge thing, and it used to go off twice a day from the Met Office. And the only other time it used to go off was when my husband telexed from a ship when he was on a tanker. But it was a massive thing. And then the first mobile phone we got was, this big. And yeah, as you say, everything's got much smaller. Everything's got much more easier to edit. Time's moved on in those 30 years since we were doing this in 1981.
Lots of shots of typewriters as well.
Oh yes, typewriters. I remember the first Amstrad that I got in the newsroom, and it was like a massive step forward because you could edit it before you printed off the news story. It was amazing.
Now, do you keep your hand in doing any journalism these days?
No, I am actually retired now.
Wow,
I'm
impressed. Retired. But do you miss Manx Radio?
I miss all the places that I've worked, actually, because although I never had any ideas to be a reporter when I was at school, I fell into it by accident, really. I have great memories. I really loved it. I loved being a reporter at Manx Radio, and I loved being a reporter when I worked for the BBC in Scotland, and also the other bits and bobs I've done, because I have done a bit of presenting, you know.
Really?
That was British Forces Radio in Brunei.
Fantastic. Well, and I went out and saw you in Brunei. That was an amazing place to live, wasn't it? That's
right, yes. And talking of old photographs, I've got some of those as well.
Oh, okay. We'll move on quickly. Manx Radio is celebrating 50 years. I think they're having some sort of celebrations. Would you like to come to it if they invite you?
I think it would be great, because you remember the ball we had for the 25th anniversary it was? I think it was the most glamorous occasion I'd ever been to. Had my first very own custom-made dress for it, and it was a great night. So let's hope they are celebrating 50 years, because the Isle of Man should really be proud of Manx Radio and the history that it has in broadcasting, and the special place that it has in broadcasting. And really, people of the Isle of Man should appreciate Manx Radio, because I've now been to a lot of places, and it's very unique, and it provides a very special service, and really they should do their utmost to keep it, even if they have to keep paying for it.
I think Stuart Watson's on record as well, our boss at the time, saying the 80s were probably the most influential time, because there was only one station, wasn't it, and everyone seemed to listen to it. Big responsibility, wasn't there, really? And you in the newsroom trying to balance everything, because government money was paying for it, but you couldn't necessarily be seen to be paying the government line. Tricky?
Yeah, it was tricky, especially when Manx Radio was the political hot potato, which it was almost as often as the steam packet was. And it was difficult, because you always had to try and get both points of view, even when perhaps it wasn't very popular in the government. And I was unpopular on more than one occasion.
Well, we'll have to leave it now, but we maybe look forward to you come back every now and again to the Isle of Man. You've got all your family still here, haven't you?
Yes, both of our families are still in the Isle of Man, so we haven't been over much in recent years because we were in Alaska, but I'm sure we'll be over, maybe over to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Manx Radio.
And I think they should get you in to do a special newscast.
Yeah, out of practice these days.
Thank you very much for joining us, Sheena.
Thanks, Paul.